Alright, in this video, I want to talk about overcoming sin. And you may be confused about what I'm showing here. Well, this is a bit of humble pie and a bit of, chilling out. Because we all have to poop, right? Everybody poops. That should be humbling in itself, right? You start thinking you're high and mighty. Well, next time you're on the toilet, really think about how high and mighty you really are, right? And the reason why I'm putting this out is because you have to poo every day. Generally, that's what people do. Not everybody. But generally, people poop at least once a day, right? If not, then I don't know. Something's going on. Maybe you're just different. Maybe you got a problem. I don't know. A little bit off subject. But anyway, but as you can see, even if you eat perfectly healthy food, right, you still are going to have to poo, right? Your body is constantly breaking down old, weak, broken down, dead, diseased, ill, and just dysfunctional cells and breaking them down and getting rid of them. It tries to recycle them, and if it can't, or if it can get new ones instead of recycling, it just throws them out and you crap it all out, right? And this is a constant process throughout every day of your life, right? Now, this is very symbolic, is it not? That every day you need to be cleansed. Every day you need to be washed. Every day you got some sin because of your flesh that you need to get rid of. There's no way around it, is there? Right? So there's no way you can be actually perfect. Right? And that this is what this is telling us. We're always going to be full of crap. And we're going to always be having to dump that crap. So we shouldn't think of ourselves so high and mighty and so self-righteous. Right? Just the act of pooping should humble us and let us know that we always got to be getting cleansed constantly, right? So that's why I put this up here. A bit of humbling and a bit of getting you to relax on this whole just striving to be sinless and perfect kind of thing, right? You accepted Jesus, you're saved, get close to Him, let Him work on you, and take it from there, right? Just like you don't worry about digesting your food, you don't worry about getting all the broken down waste and disease out of you through the bowels. You don't worry about it. It just kind of happens, right? It's the same thing. Let God do the cleansing of you, right? Don't worry too much about it. Just focus on Him. Now, the next thing I want to get into is this right here. Reaping what you sow. We should be reaping good work so that we can reap the rewards, right? And if you're not sure what that means, sowing means planting seeds, and reaping means harvesting what grows from those seeds, just in case you weren't familiar with what sowing and reaping means. So it says here, sow a thought, reap a deed. You can also say sow a thought and you reap words, right? Because your words are a mixture of your thoughts and feelings. You're not defiled by what goes into your mouth, but by what comes out of your mouth, because your mouth reveals your thoughts and feelings, right? It says here, sow a deed, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a lifestyle. Sow a lifestyle, It says here, reap a destiny. We can say reap a character, and that character will end up being your destiny here. I think this one shows it a little better. It says, sow an act and you reap a habit, sow a habit and you reap a character, sow a character and you reap a destiny, right? This one says a lifestyle. That sounds more like a habit, right? So anyway, let's go with this one. This one I think makes a little bit more sense to me. But yeah. So anyway, you're sowing the thought first, right? That's what this one's missing, the thought. The thought is like a seed planted in the garden of your mind, right? I think this one has the best of both worlds here. Sow a thought and sow a character. So anyway, it starts with the thought. That's the first little seed that you plant in your mind. And I'm going to use a New Year's resolution as an example. You got the thought that you're going to do something or stop doing something for New Year's, right? Except you got a bunch of other thoughts that pop up, do they not? Thoughts of telling you why you should or shouldn't be doing that, and da-da-da, and excuses and lullabies and just bullcrap, right? All this stuff that just is trying to get in the way of you following that thought. You see, there's something there that doesn't want that thought to actually spring a root so that it can start growing. It wants all these other thoughts to spring a root and start growing in its stead and basically get all the nutrients so that thought never really grows into any word, action, any habit, right? It wants something else going on. You see, it has to do with what Jesus said about sowing the seed, right? He's giving up the truth of the gospel as seeds. He's throwing it out there, right? And it lands through the ears into people's minds. Except some people have stony ground for a mind, so the seed doesn't get any root, so it doesn't really grow into anything. Some people, it gets into the mind, but there's the fowl of the air, the birds, come and they eat up the seed. And you know what that is? Those are demons. They're the dirty birds, the unclean spirits. And they're putting all these different thoughts, trying to plant their seeds. So they come as the birds, and they eat up that seed so that it can't germinate. And they drop some of their own seeds that end up being weeds and thorny vines that choke out anything that's good that's growing, right? And their thoughts of telling you things like you're never going to fulfill anything good in your life, you're not going to change, you can't change, God doesn't care about you, he's never going to forgive you, you don't deserve heaven, you're crap. You know, a lot of hardcore negative stuff, right? Even stuff like saying you should just kill yourself, da-da-da-da. They're planting all these other seeds in your mind. So know what you need? You need a scarecrow. Because I was thinking about that. Jesus planting these seeds, but, birds come and they eat the seeds. So what did the farmers use to get rid of the birds? They put up a scarecrow. And what does a scarecrow kind of show you here? With his arms out here? He's up on a cross, is he not? And that's interesting. If you got Jesus up there in the mind, he acts as a scarecrow, keeping away the demons, so that those seeds can land and actually germinate and grow. So all those negative thoughts, all those foolish thoughts, those selfish thoughts, those prideful thoughts, self-righteous thoughts, just downright evil, malicious thoughts, you can keep them out. And it's not you doing it, it's actually Jesus. And then you can just focus on his word, and they can start to grow and blossom up. And as you see here, once the field really gets growing with something good, there's no room for the other horrible seeds to even get in there and start growing. There's no room for them anymore. When these were young or they were just seeds, yeah, all those other thoughts could have got in there and caused trouble. But once you get the good seeds start growing, there's no room. Can't get in there. And that's where it ties into this. You know, you get those thoughts in there, the good ones. You sow a thought, you start planting the good thoughts. And you got the scarecrow up, Jesus there in the forefront. You're keeping all the other thoughts out of the way because you're planting a garden here. Well, you get those good thoughts, you start to reap the action. And then if you sow actions, you start to reap a habit. You get the habit of doing the good thing. You sow the habit, you reap a character. You start to become a good man, a good woman. And then you sow that character, you reap a destiny, right? You get your heavenly reward. So I'm just doing this video here to encourage good works and to start at the actual foundation in the mind, the thoughts, where you're there in private with God, with Jesus, and to start there and clean up what's going on there. You know, take out the stones that are making it so those seeds can't get root. You know, all those things that are false beliefs and false doctrines, all the bullcrap that you're holding on to, the selfishness, self-righteousness, all this other stuff that's in the way. Dig that all up so the seeds can get there. And keep all the negative thoughts from planting seeds. Don't let them in there. You know, keep Jesus up there in the forefront. I'll pray for Jesus to protect you from the demons and to cast the demons out from you so that your garden can actually start growing, producing some good fruit. Good fruit for Jesus and the world to enjoy. And yeah, so hope you enjoy eating some humble pie on the toilet and get started on that character there. So thanks for watching and take care.